Who said that? Adam, is that you? Well, how'd you get here? Why? Oh yeah, right, I forgot about that. Sorry. It's actually kind of coincidence that you shrunk yourself, since, I was just about to review the Doctor Who story Planet of Giants. Let's go. So, Doctor Who Series 9 is coming to an end. Might as well start reviewing Story 9, Planet of Giants. I'm going kind of slow on these. If I ever want to catch up, I better start reviewing these faster. So, anyway, this episode is 3 parts long, or 4. I'll explain it later. Anyway, off we go. We start off with everything going just dandy.
We're approaching a planet.
No.
Which one? We shall soon see. What's the matter, my dear?
Scared myself.
No, something overheating here.
Wow.
When we're landing, Susan, check the fabricator, please.
We're not going to blow up or anything, are we?
No, of course not. It's just, well, there we were, in the late 18th century.
Yeah.
There's something on QR18, Grandfather, and A14.
Yes, everything's just jolly. Remember the last time they tried to check something? It's reading normal. So the Doctor tries some stuff and fails. So then he asks everyone to close the doors. And apparently they've never learned to close the door before, but they eventually do it anyway and they materialize. And then they start to find out that everything's enormous. And then they spend pretty much the entire episode looking stupid until all of a sudden they realize something. Oh my god, everything has grown except for us. What could that possibly mean?
Oh, what else? Look at the scale of things.
You're wrong, Ian, completely wrong. I thought just now that something was wrong when I saw that, but now I'm sure.
All right. What's your theory then?
Well, these things haven't been made bigger. We've been made smaller. Smaller?
We have been reduced roughly to the size of an inch.
An inch?
You, me, all of us, and the ship.
It's gonna be one of those stories where Wait a minute. No, I always wondered about this stuff. You know how everyone's been wanting to be big, but then like every single children's show ever has an episode about being big isn't always that great. That pretty much brainwashed me into thinking that being big is bad. So whenever I met someone who was smaller than me, I would always be jealous of them while they're being jealous of me, and we both kind of wish that we could just switch sizes at the time. Maybe there's finally going to be an episode of something that's going to say being small is negative.
Do you know why I'm a success, Mr. Farrow? Because I've never allowed the word can't to exist.
Whoa, hold up. When we get into a soap opera?
There's always a way, always.
Not this time. This isn't business. This is science. The formula is unacceptable, and I can't, and I do mean can't, Mr. Forrester, allow DN6 to go into production. Now I'll make that phone call.
Just a moment.
Okay, I won't make your phone call to the president or whoever I'm calling. Who am I calling again? Okay, you see, whenever I hear that, it always signals my brain to run. No, no. I'm not saying that I have a fear of bugs, but that would definitely scare me. But I do have a fear of giant dead people. Anyway, so, yeah, pretty much every insect, every animal that they ever met, which so far is only insects, is dead for some reason because of their, what was their formula, the guy from the soap opera, their formula that they couldn't make into a business for some reason. It kills insects. Luckily, there's not a single animal there that's alive. Therefore, no harm will come to them at all.
Death all around us. Yes, what's happening here?
You weren't with us, Chesterton, but every insect we came across was dead.
Yes. Susan and I saw a great many huge dead ants.
Everything else is the same here.
Yes, and we don't know what it was that killed them. But that man, he's been shot, murdered.
What would kill insects in a perfectly ordinary garden? I mean, pests one can understand, but surely it's wrong to kill bees and worms and things, isn't it?
Quite so. Both are vital to the growth of things. However, we must leave this little mystery and get back to the ship. As I said, my dear, it's fortunate for all of us that everything is dead.
Grandfather!
Of course it's a cliffhanger. Why wouldn't it be a cliffhanger? What did you expect at this moment in the story? The cat left. Oh, okay, you want to see my cat in action once he sees something. I mean, like, if I shake this in his face, even if I just go bam, he's still gonna be all crouched down for the next 10 seconds and then attack it.
And another thing, we could be mistaken for mice, and I don't fancy being part of the cat's diet.
Oh, it gets more horrifying every moment. Couldn't we make contact with the people here, sir?
No, I'm afraid not.
Well, why not? They might be able to help us.
It's out of the question, my dear. How can we possibly communicate with them?
Imagine a record played at the wrong speed, Susan. We'd sound like a little squeak to them, and they'd sound like a low growl to us.
Anyway.
Okay, yeah, you would sound like a high-pitched voice to other people, but they haven't changed. Why would they sound different?
That gives us...
Well, shall we proceed?
I can see a huge leg coming. Run!
Oh!
Go on, Susan.
I can help
Go
you.
on.
Sorry.
It's all right. This way, quickly.
Grandfather, they're almost
Oh, they're all right, they're all right. It's a pity they didn't come this way, though.
Where should we go?
Yeah, they got separated, but she barely fell over. She crouched. She crouched. She doesn't need help. She could get it by herself. Okay, let me show you what would happen if I was in that situation. Keep running. See, it's not that hard.
It's our only chance. You sure he's dead?
Of course I'm sure. You know he had a gun.
He didn't seem the sort of man who'd need one.
He pulled it out of his pocket and told me he was stealing the formula. I struggled with him. The gun must have been turned into his body. It went off.
Liar.
Be a fool, he's been shot through the heart from some feet away. Even I can see that, I know.
Farrow was going on a holiday. He has a boat. He was going to cross to France by himself in it. It's anchored about 10 miles away.
Yes, I know.
If the police were to find an overturned boat and a body out at sea somewhere... But... Don't worry. You can leave it all to me.
So they hide the body, Ian and Barbara end up inside the house, and the Doctor and Susan decide to go to Cosmic Adventures and climb up the drain pipe.
Ceiling up there. That means we're indoors and the Doctor and Susan are outside. How's your ankle?
Oh, it's all right. I don't need it badly. Oh, I also bumped my knee against a large piece of metal.
Oh, you twisted your... Okay, I do apologize for making fun of you falling over. This is my chewy thing that I put in my mouth, so that when I feel like chewing on something, I don't have to go to the kitchen and overeat a bit. I can just chew on this thing. As you can see, I haven't been wearing it down one bit.
Yes, I'm all right, my dear. I can manage very well.
Good. It's just as well this pipe's corroded, isn't it? There are plenty of footholds.
Really? Let me just test that. second video to have a clip from outside. No, I mean, like, once you get up to here, it's climbable, but you'd struggle getting up here.
Ian, look at this.
Yes.
What do you suppose it is? Corn? Wheat?
Wait. Still haven't thought of a way getting out of this place.
Oh, yes, you're right. It is wheat. Oh, it's all covered in some sticky stuff like toffee.
Hey, Barbara. Look at this.
Give me a handkerchief, will you?
You see what this is? A book of litmus papers. How often have I held a piece of litmus paper in my fingers? Oh, well, it's a handy seat.
Yes.
You realize what this place is?
Oh, it's some sort of laboratory.
Yes. I think it must explain those dead insects and things. It must be doing some experiments. Of course, it makes it all the more dangerous for us.
Why do you say that?
Well, whatever killed those insects could easily kill us.
The doctor said something like that. I'd forgotten.
Well, don't touch anything, eh?
But Ian...
I mean, look at the way these seeds are coated. They're obviously samples. Yes, I think they must be inventing a new insecticide.
So yeah, if you weren't paying attention to that part, basically Barbara has been poisoned by the insecticide thing. They are harmful to humans normally because, well, our cells are big enough and strong enough to defend ourselves. But remember, Barbara is shrunken to just an inch high, which means that her cells aren't that big and can't protect themselves that much. Barbara becomes nervous about the fact that she's infected, and she decides to not let Ian know, as she's nervous that might freak him out. So Ian is busy using his brain power to try and figure out a way to get back to the ship and to find the Doctor and Susan. And meanwhile, Barbara has completely forgotten about that and is concentrating more on finding a cure for the insecticide because she's infected with it. However, because she won't tell Ian, Ian's quite suspicious. And he's like, why are you focusing on finding a cure for the insecticide? It's not like we're infected or anything. So, yeah. What's going to happen?
Try right to left, then.
Great minds think alike.
Well, doesn't move that way either. I'm going around the other side.
All right.
Once again, it's not that I have a fear of bugs, but I can't see anyone looking directly into that guy's eyes and not being in the slightest freaked out. I probably wouldn't scream. I'd probably just... like, Barbara's probably going to scream her head off. I'd probably just stare at it, try to stay quiet, try to not move, and then maybe I might faint. But I'd say that that's a lot safer than what Barbara's probably going to do. Shut up.
Watch everything I do.
I'd like to know what's going on.
There's blood on the flagstones. You don't seem to have noticed that.
I shan't forget this, Smithers.
Oh, yes, you will. You'll forget all about it. Killing Farrow and whatever you do with the body. You'll rub it right out of your mind.
Well, of course.
And don't think I'm doing this for you. Because if there's one chance in a million, the experiment going through, of making it work, then I must do it. I must.
That's sensible. Practical.
Practical. It's very practical. Making me an accessory.
Making?
Yes, making. You knew perfectly well how I felt about DN6. How much I put into it, what it meant to me. You knew I'd help you. That's why you took me out and showed me Farrow's body, wasn't it?
Doctor and Susan make it up the drain pipe into the sink and call out for Barbara and Ian, but since it's like a giant echo chamber, Barbara and Ian can clearly hear their voices, but Susan and the Doctor can't hear Ian and Barbara's, as they are completely drowned out by the echoes in the sink. So Ian and Barbara rush to the sink to greet them, and then they start to make their way down the plug chain. However, the two men who have just finished cleaning up the blood of the man go inside to wash their hands in the sink. As they go inside and everyone can hear it, Susan and the doctor quickly hide back down the drain pipe again, and Barbara and Ian climb back up as they're closer to the floor than down at the sink. So they have a better chance of escaping if they go up. So they go onto the floor, or the counter I think, and then they go and hide in the briefcase once again as a man plugs in the sink and starts filling it up with water.
Barbara. He's standing at the sink. I can see him standing at the sink. He's turned the tap on.
Kids, that's how you should be washing your hands. This is how a kid in my classroom does it. Done.
In that sink, Barbara. And he's turned the tap on.
Okay, yeah, okay. How did they get that dirty, and how come none of it is getting it off? Like, literally, washing your hands is doing nothing so far.